Sports Night Amplified with Andile on Metro FM. Monday through Friday, 6 to 7 p.m. Game over.
A lot to be grateful for this weekend.
100%.
2 finals, all great. It's a Monday. You know what that means. It means the 3 wise men, but always so wise. I'll tell you what. I thought that Sipho Chaine was much taller than me. He's in studio. We're going to be talking to him. He's short, guys. Sipho's not that tall.
Que Cortez.
No, not penalty guy shy. Oh, not like this. He's going to be joining us, and he's alongside Olisa and Ndah. They've got the trophy here, the Buccaneers here. We're going to be talking to them in just a few, congratulating them. They've done it again. The coach will be joining us as well, Mazola's best friend.
No, we get along these days, me and the coach. I've
So
seen him more than I've seen my family the last 4 days.
Come on, give us some celebratory music there, because the guys are here. They've got both the trophies, the MTN as well, of course, as the Nedbank Cup. Give us something. Olisa and Ndah carrying them with pride. Come on, let's hear it. There's a lot to talk about. Orlando Pirates, they've done it again. It's 4 in 2 seasons now for Coach Riveiro. We'll talk to him and the players that helped him do so. Together as Amapagania, I'm dressed in all black in celebration of exactly that. Mazola's here. He's going to be giving us a bit of news in a few. What do you have?
Latest from a Kaizer Chiefs point of view with the appointment of a coach. That's really the big news of the week, I suppose. Closing in.
Is it still finder, or do we know something?
Yeah, it's half and half. But we know something.
And of course, we're going to speak about, because the ref joins us every Monday, as you know. 2 huge calls this past weekend in the Nedbank Cup. Huge calls. One saved by the man sitting right next to you. You can lift it up. You can lift the mic up. One saved by the man sitting next to you there. The other, scored by Orlando Pirates. We have to talk about them. You can't tell us stories here.
No. But to Chaine na my yellow card I too now.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Chaine and the 2 yellow cards. We must talk about that.
It became a big talking
we want
point
to
in
know,
Bombela.
were they penalties or not?
Yeah, we'll
get into that.
We'll get into that.
We'll get into that from a referee's point of view. It's exactly 11 after the hour 6. South Africa is playing as we speak. They're taking on Sri Lanka. It's 76 all out. Unbelievable performance from the Proteas. Olisa and Ndah is going to look at me weird because there's no cricket in Nigeria. No one plays cricket in Nigeria.
You must adopt the Proteas.
I went to Nigeria during the Rugby World Cup, right? And I was looking for a screen to watch the rugby. It was like, what are you talking about? Everyone was like, what are you talking about? So we'll get into conversations with champions. They're here. Let's take a quick break. When we come back on the other side, we talk to the champs. Well-deserved season that Orlando Pirates have had. 2nd position. Hard fought for that 2nd position to be Stellenbosch to make it into 2. Yeah. And then 2 trophies, including one of the most epic finals in a long time. Oof. Beating Sundowns. The brilliant, but again, President Emma Tutau. Relebohile Mofokeng. President Emma Tutau.
Why it's a groot maniso, man?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Why it's a groot maniso?
Let's take a break.
The 3 wise men, but not always so wise, on Sports Night Amplified with Andile on Metro FM. Not everyone believes in the youth of 2024. Inventors, leaders, but we are not everyone. Some of the most important people in history. Metro FM, celebrating the leaders of tomorrow, today. Podcast Friday on Sports Night Amplified with Andile on Metro FM.
He's an Orlando Pirates youth development player. He moved around between Bidvest Wits, Maritzburg United, Supersport, Amazulu, Cape Moya All-Stars, and this season played 18 games, scoring a crucial goal in the last game of the season. He's nowadays a podcaster, a TikToker, and an Instagrammer. Ladies and gentlemen, Michael Morton!
Wow, thank you for the very epic introduction. It almost took you the whole show just to name all the clubs I was playing.
You've been around, but where did you guys play together with Mark Haskins here?
At Bidvest.
Hey, Mark Haskins, he's here with us.
I must tell you, I don't think I've ever smiled so hard like I did last weekend. I actually sent him a message.
When you scored the goal?
Whenever I score, it's a bit of shock, and then I've got to try to think of a celebration. I don't have one in the locker.
When he scored.
6 to 7 p.m.
It's 13 after the hour 6 on the Mighty Metro FM. It's the biggest sports show in South Africa and Africa's most loved sports show. We send it out to the entire continent, of course, and we're truly grateful for the response that comes from all over the continent. And on a Monday, it's the three wise men, not always so wise, as Mazola Molefe, as well as the referee, former CAF referee, former PSL referee of the year. It is Victor Hlungwane. But it's not about us today, because Buccaneers are here. You were in Bombela. Yes, there were a lot of issues outside the stadium with people trying to get in. Leaving as well was huge.
Yeah.
But what an atmosphere, what a game. It delivered in the 90 minutes as well.
No, as soon as Pirates and Sundowns were confirmed as the finalists, in my mind, I thought, this has the potential to be an epic cup final, one to never forget. Tickets sold out in 4 hours? Yes, obviously, issues with people getting in and out, but once the game started, you could feel that it's number one and number two in the country that are playing at the pace.
And for the first time, that you have 1 and 2 playing.
Yeah.
For the first time.
That's why it was such a epic match as well. And chalk and cheese, if you compare the October MTN 8 final, which was, from a football point of view, wasn't too easy on the eye, and also the weather conditions as well. But Bombela came to the party.
Well, the winners are here. They're with us. Olisa's here. Sipho's here. Guys, first and foremost, congratulations, man. Huh? You look like people that have just run a marathon. Yeah? Congratulations, Sipho.
Thank you, man.
Olisa, congratulations, man.
Thank you so much.
This lifting of trophies and winning trophies thing is becoming a norm.
Should make it a habit.
Yeah. Sipho, you played a huge role in this final. I mean, the whole team did. But you changed the atmosphere of the game. That penalty goes in that early. It's a totally different ball game altogether. You hear goalkeepers now speaking about the education of penalties, who's kicking where, etc. What was the thinking? I thought, when I saw it, I thought because he goes the one way first and changes. Talk to me through that penalty.
Like you said, penalties are something different in this modern day football.
Yeah.
You do a lot of homework, and you got to give a lot of credit to the technical team, the goalkeeper coach, the analysts, on how they're trying to analyze. It could be anything. It could be a habit of going one side. It could be body positioning. It's everything in one. And in that moment, you got to make the right decision, and I'm just happy that I could help the team.
So what were you told about Riveiro? What were you told about?
Nothing much.
No, come on.
No, nothing much. Nothing.
But he does tend to go that side most of his penalties, because obviously he's the designated penalty taker.
Yeah.
For
so it would have been
Sundowns.
easy to study him.
And most of his penalties, I'm not sure of the ratio, but he tends to go in that direction. So
I don't know.
Ah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Is it a secret?
it's not a secret, man.
What did the analyst say? Riveiro will take the penalty and he's gonna?
No, and you try and help the team.
Olisa, it must feel good. I mean, I know you don't play as much as you would like to. You don't get in there as much as you would like to. But there's one thing about Orlando Pirates is that you guys have this belief of it all makes the team. So when you're lifting these trophies, although you didn't play as much as you, does it still feel the same?
Yeah, definitely. It does feel the same. I think the main thing is the progress of the team. I think we're moving in a certain direction, and I think the coach has been doing wonderfully well with us. And yeah, I think first of all, you have to always put the team first before yourself. So I think when you put the team first, I think everything falls into place for you.
But in the back of your mind, you're thinking, there's the Nigerian national teams that I need to get to. They're looking at my games. There's, other ambitions that I have. They're all depending on me playing. Surely that plays some role.
Yeah, definitely. I think I was out most of the time due to my injury, and it was kind of a long-term thing. But since I've been doing like extra work, putting in more work on conditioning my body and eating properly these days, and I think everything is working well right now.
Here's what I don't understand, Sipho. Sundowns dominate the entire league. They beat 8 teams home and away. Never been done before.
Yeah.
They only lose 1 game in the entire league. You go into the final with them without your leading goal scorer, without one of the most creative player in Mufugeng on the pitch, and you dominated the first part of that first half in particular. And you didn't make the Sundowns look like the dominant team that we know them to be. What was the strategy and the thinking behind getting into that final? This, I'm sure you can tell us.
Yeah, you can tell us this one.
No, I think
Because
football in general is about planning, and you know what you're coming up against when you come up against a Sundowns team, one of the best teams in Africa, and they've been doing pretty well in the last 3 years, and you gotta do something to counter or to come up against them. And we're sitting here, we won today, and we'd say the plan worked, but it could have went the other way. So big ups to the coaching staff, big ups to the guys for executing the plan well. And like you said, without certain individuals that everybody thought would be on the pitch but weren't. But I'm glad that every player that went out and started the game helped us to win the game.
Olisa, how was that first 20 minutes? Remember, we were talking about the first, give or take, 15, 20 minutes where you were under pressure, hence also conceding the penalty to try and keep cool heads as well in that moment.
Yeah, I think even before then, I think the build up to the game always brings a lot of pressure, you know. But I think we handled it pretty well. Thanks to Sipho, you know, for the save. Even after they scored us the 1-0, I think we still kept our heads in the game because we knew it was just one goal, and we spoke in a very short period of time, and we're like, hey, we have to go all out because it was either a win-win situation for us. We had no option of losing, so that's the mentality we came into the game with. So that's why we pushed and we pressed them very high, and yeah, we're grateful that we won.
Because one looks at the league and says there's a 23-point difference between Orlando Pirates and Sundowns. That's daylight. We can all agree on that. That it says there, hey, the difference between this team and this team is so big. But come a cup game like this, I understand it's a once-off game. Orlando Pirates are a different class altogether. The strategies, the thinking, the tactical acumen that goes into it is a lot different. And one sits back and says, but Sipho, why am I not seeing this all season?
From anyone out there, it's a very good question. And even personally, you wonder sometimes that why can't we reach maybe the heights that we always do in such moments. But I think we can take very positives out of this whole situation, that we know that the level that we can hit as a football club, and we know the potential that we have in being the best team in the country. And yeah, as I said, we can take only the positives and look forward to the next season to do much better than we did this season.
Second position, 2 trophies, very similar to what last season is. They won the league and they won them in outstanding style when you look at the accolades. For you, a successful season, a season that you're saying, very proud of this, I can take this home. You know, when I speak of seasons in my life, these last 2 seasons with what we've won, well worth it? Or is it I can't wait till we can challenge them there as well?
For me personally, I think it's a situation of trying to challenge for the league, you know. Obviously we're grateful to be able to win 4 trophies in 2 seasons, but I think we're an ambitious team. We're working in a big institution, and I think we're giving a lot, and they also deserve more, especially the fans, because they always turn up and they always show up for us. And I think it's very important that we tweak the mindset and put more effort in the league, because I think there were situations where we lost points unnecessarily, and it's the league. We'll be like, we can gain it back in some certain areas, but in the cup games, we can't lose points because you're out. So we have to always get that same mentality into the league.
Olisa, you're going to have the Champions League as well, and I'm sure the hope is to go further. You think you be able to find the balance? I mean, as you say, you're trying to chase the league title as well, get further in the Champions League. The fixture schedule is going to be quite hectic.
Yeah, it's going to be hectic, but I think we have a lot of quality players. This is where the technical team comes in. They do a lot of rotations, and I think, they always find the right people and the right combination to every game. So I think we have a big squad also, so I think it's not really going to be an issue for us.
Where do you think you won the game? When you look back at that 90 minutes, when you say, I want to hear, I mean, many might say the introduction of Rile, perhaps. Many might say the save that you made early on. When you look at that 90 minutes, where do you think this is where we beat Sundowns?
From a personal perspective, the first half was for me a big highlight. When you come up against Sundowns, there are certain moments you're going to suffer. And for us, or for me personally, I felt like we had that moment where we didn't concede a goal in a specific time, where we thought if they get one now, then the game is gone. So for me is how much resistance we were able to put up. And even though they scored in the second half, I always felt like we're still going to win the game. We can still win the game, because I felt they didn't score in a time where we were really suffering as a team. So even when they scored, I always felt positive and knew or thought that would come back and win the game.
We've had coaches coming into South Africa, and Jose had a tougher time coming in because nobody knew who he was. Where do you rate him as far as coaching is concerned? Because you look at what he did. Rulana Mokoena spoke out, in fact, and said he wasn't expecting what they did in terms of their starting 11 in particular. He says he studied you guys and he looked at your last 10 games, I think he said. But it went down to the coach tactical mastermind in setting you guys up the way you set him up. When you think about your coach, 4 trophies in his first time in African football, where do you place him amongst coaches that that you've seen? How good is Jose Riveiro?
I think a lot of people don't know how good he is, because I think he doesn't really talk a lot. He's a quiet person, but I think he's a very smart man. He's someone that we're working with every week, and there's always something we're learning. There's always changes, even in the slightest details, like to body positionings, the way you receive the ball, like little things, basic. And I think, he's one of the best coaches I've worked with, because I've worked with a lot of coaches, and even the way you play, in general, there's always something to add. It's not like some coaches that just let you play. There's always things we need to do. There's some certain areas we need to be in, and he really brought that into the team. So he's a great coach.
I've seen him even screaming when there was the Arrows game when you ended up winning 7-1. It's 7-1, and the guy is on the touchline screaming instructions, wanting to get it a certain way.
But then when we speak about how good is someone, Relebohile Mofokeng, I know the team at Orlando Pirates is doing a great job at keeping him away from people like ourselves. Rightfully so. He's still a young man. But yes, he didn't mean to do what he did. But when you good things like that fall for you, and then he scores that goal. But we've seen him as well since Ale Ratomo doing what he's doing, and we thought junior football, is he going to be able to do it at senior football? How good is he? Sipho, where do you place him when you look at him? I spoke on Saturday about amazing young talent in South Africa. You got to think Sipho Nunans, Dr. Kumalo, Jabu Bule, maybe even Steve Lukwelea from the Chappies Little League when he was still 2 for Joy. Those are talents that come up in mind, and Rile at the moment forms a part of what we used to see there. You've been around in this country long enough. Where do you place Rile? How good is he?
No. He's really something special. I remember the first week when he got promoted to the senior team last season. I don't remember who passed him the ball, and he got this. The way Neymar likes to control the ball.
Oh yeah, for when it's coming. Coming in the air with the leg in the back of the other leg.
Yeah. And I'm thinking, who's this 18-year-old coming to season campaigners and people that have been in the league, and he comes to do this in his first week
on debut?
I know it's just training, but we grew up in other environments where when you're a youngster, you're scared to express yourself, and everybody else, you're trying to fit in there and there. No, I'll get the hang of it after some time. But in a week, I thought he's really one of the best I've ever seen.
Really?
At that age in this country.
There's the goal again, Andile.
Yeah, I know. I bet you
Wow.
the TV is switched off at Boani's house. Can't be watching that. Because it's easy, and the greats have said this. What Ronaldinho does in training, he can do and replicate on the field. You know, what Messi, what Ronaldo, they're really great. That's the difference between, because a lot of people can do ball juggling. I can tell you can see Olisa and Ndah doing skills, and you'll think to yourself, hey, man. But it's being able to transfer that from training and still do it with ease on the playing ground, and that's the kind of thing that we're getting from him. Olisa, you've observed him. You come from a country where, the JJ Okocha school is almost in every corner with kids being able to do things like that. What do you think of him?
I think he's a very special talent. First training, he trained with us. Like you could see the confidence. For an 18-year-old player. First time training, no, there was a lot of confidence. So you could see that he's different, and even his first game, everything he touches is different. He doesn't pass the ball the way I pass the ball. It's different for him. You can see it oozes out. It's like when we enjoy Ronaldinho playing. Yeah. I'm a centre back, but I love Ronaldinho. You see, he's different, and really has that confidence. This wasn't given to him by anyone. It's like a gift. I don't think he's scared to do mistakes. Like us, growing up, we played with big people that we watched on the TV and stuff like that, and we were in a shell. But he's himself.
Coach Hugo's listening right now. Big question, Mazola. We need to know: do we play him against Nigeria?
I don't know.
Do we put him in against Nigeria, Mazola? Is the big one we need to know.
Olisa has gotten a call already to
Olisa, who's that boy?
Give some crib notes.
Nigerians are going to be calling you to ask about this team. What are you going to tell them about Bafana?
They didn't call me. No one is calling me.
They speak now.
We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, more moments, including the principal is going to come in. Sipho, tolama yellow card engai?
One. I remember one yellow card.
Yeah?
I remember one yellow card.
Did you get one or do you remember one?
I got one.
When did you hear the chat about the 2 yellow cards? When were you made aware of it?
I was also surprised. I saw it after the game.
Yeah.
And you're
On TV, it said you had 2 yellow cards. I had people texting me saying...
You deserve to be off the pitch. The pitch. I'm wondering. What are you talking about?
So you remember one? The one where you came out from the goals to run to go fight.
No, but I'm speaking to my player.
You're not speaking to your player, nothing here. Let's take a break. When we come back, the referee, the principal, is going to tell us how many yellow cards did he actually get.
We stay connected no matter where you are or where we are. Metro FM. It's where you want to be.
18:32 on the Mighty Metro FM. I'm looking at the game here. The Proteas in the T20 World Cup. Oh, it's just gone to an ad break, has it? It really has. But I think we'd lost 1 wicket so far. Remember, we bowled them out. Sri Lanka. Oh, there we go. It's 14-1. Sri Lanka were able to get 77, I think it is. So the target is 78. It's 14-1. Reza Hendrick is out. De Kock and Markham on... There we go, at the crease at the moment, and I thought there was going to be a big one there. It wasn't. So it is 14-1 at the time, and it's currently 78, the target. It's 18:33. I don't know where the yellow cards came from, but I was sitting in studio broadcasting the game, and we started getting a lot of questions, because I'm sitting there with Coach Lulu and Mark Haskins, right? Yeah. And we start getting a lot of questions about, but how come the referee didn't see the 2 yellow cards? And I thought, if the referee didn't see it, I didn't see it either. So then I started questioning myself, and I tried to watch back as much as possible. I couldn't find the 2 yellow cards. Sipho's here. He says he doesn't remember the 2 yellow cards. Were they 2 yellow cards? And if so, where were they, ref?
Yeah, the law says, the law 5, the referee, it says the referee has got full authority over the game. He is appointed to officiate, and no other one else. And the record that the league will take is the record that comes from the referee. Now, we saw a yellow card going to Mudiba. Modiba was not seeing the yellow card. So the referee raised the yellow card for a long time in the air until Modiba saw the yellow card. Unfortunately, Chaine or Chaine, he was close to that incident. Now, the broadcasters perceive that Chaine or Chaine.
Sipho, please take him out of the misery.
Chaine, Bob.
Oh, Chaine.
We have Sipho.
Bloemfontein.
Okay, no,
Yeah,
where I was if from Bloom, it can be. I don't know.
Yeah.
So
No, I'm close.
Closer. No, then it can be Chaine.
It can.
Ingaba
Because
nguChaine.
it's September, yeah. Chaine.
Chaine.
Hey, Chaine. It doesn't have an E.
So I go Chaine.
No, it doesn't
Chaine.
have the E, yeah.
Like London
Like a chain.
emqaleni.
Yeah.
Well, this was like okay, there you go. It's explained.
Say home affairs yafaka ne-e lekugcineni so sizwile.
Is that where so the E was mistake?
Yeah, E was a mistake.
From the Home Affairs. Just like Ncube and
Yeah.
Yes.
because it's all the same thing.
Yeah.
Exactly.
There you go. This is sorted.
Ah,
It's
it's
out.
sorted.
It's done.
Yeah,
Go on.
Now, when the yellow card was up there, the broadcasters noted it as a yellow card for Chaine. Kati, no, it was not a yellow card for Chaine. The referee wanted Modiba to see that yellow card because he was.
Do you
showing
remember
his
that yellow
back.
card, Jagamudip?
Yeah, when Zane
in the
was
corner.
In the
when
corner.
Zane was on the board. Yes.
So do you remember it?
Yeah, I remember that incident in the corner.
What were you doing there? Did you get close to that incident?
It's close in my box.
So you went.
I will tell you what it is.
We are team bar. So that's why
I
now.
was stopping. I was, coming the things.
Yeah, so that yellow card was not for Chaine. It was for Modiba. Then the TV made a mistake by writing Chaine on the 67 minute that he got a yellow card. He never got a yellow card.
Sorted then.
So the next yellow card was correctly given because
I
he
very
came
correct.
from somewhere to the area of incident for what? I don't know.
Here he is. Ask him.
Ufunani la, because only the captain is responsible for the behavior of his own players, not any other person. Now, Mausuka Lena Uyaku area of sin, my friend, you'll go back.
You know who it is?
Yeah.
You know when you're driving in traffic and you're like, why is there so much traffic when the accident is on that side?
Yeah.
He's those people that stop and look.
Exactly.
They want to see what's going on.
And when he goes there, instead of tranquila the situation, you will find him pointing fingers there. Mara Chaine ufunani la. So yellow card, second yellow card, unsporting behavior, showing dissent, deservingly so.
Okay, then there's the two incidents of penalties. You saw them live and you've watched them over and over, right? Let's start with Sundowns' penalty that was given. You guys have seen it. What did you think of that incident? Olisa?
I think for me personally, I think the decision was wrong. I'll say because I think if you watch the video back, Hoto was in front of him.
He was.
You understand? And he obviously he's a defender, so he's going to want to block the ball.
Who thought
So-
you're going to have a conversation like this and someone's going to say Hoto's a defender? Yeah?
Yeah, and yeah, so he blocked the ball. For me personally, I was surprised though when I saw the call. So because I saw the linesman flagging for a goal kick, and I saw the referee blowing for a penalty. So I was confused.
You agree?
If you can see me there, when the ball goes out, I'm even clapping hands for my two defenders.
Yeah, so well done.
For blocking, yeah, well done. And then, I don't know where it comes from, but...
What about the Pirates one? Silence on radio! What do you think of the Pirates one?
No, I think it is.
Penalty?
I think so.
Are you honestly?
Yeah, I think so.
Olisa?
As a defender, yeah, I'll say as a defender, I'll say too soft. But
The same with this.
but Patrick is smart, so
you...
Patrick puts himself between him and the ball,
Yeah.
and
And you
Modiba went through him, so it's a penalty.
penalties.
Sipho's not convinced. Sipho, you're not convinced.
You could say both of them are soft.
Okay, I can take with that. But let's hear now, officially. Here he is. CAF
Okay.
What was your new position in refereeing?
Thank you.
He's got a new long position in refereeing. So he's the one. Talk to me. Those 2 penalties.
Yeah, let's start with.
And I need to bring the coach in, so let's make it fast.
Yeah, let's start with the Sundowns one. You see, the ball was within playing distance. Now, the question we need to ask ourselves is Hoto challenging an opponent or the ball? The ball is not there. His action, does he prevent Mudau from going past or getting into an advantageous position? If the answer is yes, then penalty is correct decision, because he blocked him, like as he said, he blocked him from.
He's no intention to play the ball.
Yes, because the ball is within playing distance. You should be going to the ball, not to an opponent, because we're playing the ball, not an opponent. Right. So I will leave it there.
You can speak.
The block that he put there.
Olisa's not.
No, but can we ask, man?
Go for it.
Yeah,
this is the expert.
If
you need to educate yourself.
If the centre back, yes, Olisa is a centre back, the ball goes over him.
Yeah.
And I shield.
And he shields the ball.
With the hands.
He's blocking the striker from getting to the ball.
Once you block somebody, and without the ball, you don't have any control of the ball, you're blocking somebody. We can't protect you. We protect someone with a ball, because he's shielding the ball. What are you shielding?
Do you understand?
What are you shielding? Because the ball is within playing distance.
Many instances happen in each
But
and every game.
you see, for me personally, I think the attackers they always have more advantages.
Because they have the ball. You don't have the ball.
But you know why I'm saying this, yeah?
Yeah.
A tackle that a defender will make will give him a yellow card. That same tackle, and a striker will make that tackle.
Yeah.
And it's calm
okay.
down, my guy.
No. You see,
I've seen it a lot of times.
Yeah.
Like, for example, I'll give you an example, yeah?
Yeah.
I'm trying to clear the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And someone puts his...
Like what Chaine did to you.
Yeah.
The whistle was blown.
Yeah. No yellow card.
That's 87
But if I did it...
Yeah.
If I did it, I'm gone.
You know how you do it. You are harder than
Hold on. 'Cause I need to bring the coach in. Let's go to the Sundowns one.
Yeah.
Penalty or not?
The Maswanganyi one. That was a circus, my friend. I don't want to lie. Where has collusion been a penalty? Because both of them, no one has control of the ball. No one can claim that ball. The ball is in the air. Now they come and collide. This one even give the back. And the collusion, where has collusion been a foul? So they don't even go to soft, hard. It's collusion. And collusion is not a foul play, should be allowed to continue.
We're going to leave it at that, guys. There's a big matchup coming up. Your 2 countries are going up against each other soon. What do you think of that lineup? Nigeria versus South Africa in the qualifiers. You've seen the likes of Lukman. You've seen what Victor's been able to do. Nigeria's been... It's another, I don't want to say golden, maybe a bronze going towards silver generation of young Nigerians at the moment. It's looking really good. They're missing you at the moment, by the way. But what do you think of that matchup?
I think it's going to be a good game to watch. I think we have a lot of quality players also here in South Africa, because they have a lot of quality players. They showed it in the last AFCON. And I think it took South African football from here to there.
Nigeria still beat us.
Yeah, but I think now it's different, because I think it's more like a 50-50 game. Because before, if most people, without watching South Africa playing in the AFCON, the last AFCON, they'll say Nigeria will beat them. But now, seeing South Africa play and what the coach is doing there, it's not going to be an easy game.
And it's a dream, I can imagine, to make it into that squad and go to the World Cup if it so does happen for Nigeria.
Always a dream.
When you look at the defenders they've got now and they look at where everybody's playing, you think you stand a chance?
Me right now, I'm just focused on what I can achieve right now with Pirates. I'm focused on playing more games, being fit. And I think at the right time, everything will fall into place.
Sipho, you've been knocking on that door. And it almost feels like you've always got a toe in. Then bawukade lo mpunzi. Then ukanevye bakushawa munye namaphoyisa abayi4 manje baphelile. When you think of that, I mean, with the World Cup coming out, the qualifiers, even now I can imagine your heart sore. Where's your mind with all of that?
Like Olisa said, as football players, you try as hard to focus on yourself and to get yourself better. And with getting yourself better, you stand a better chance to knock on every door that's that's there. And for me personally, it's just to reach better heights with Pirates like we're doing, and always get better as a football player that I always strive to do. And yeah, in the right time it'll happen.
I wish that for you. I really do. Honestly speaking, from the bottom of my heart. I love the defender you are. If I was picking an 11, you're my favorite. Very few are as cool as you are in the box with the tactical ability that you've got. I appreciate this Orlando Pirates team so much. And I said about that goal for Atomo and this team that it's the goal South Africa needed. To have a young player like that, for young kids to believe in, for the country to fall behind. It's a great thing that you guys have done. Congratulations. Well done. You might not know exactly right now what you've done. One day you'll sit back in your retirement and a younger version of me will be sitting on this and reflecting on how this was a turning point in their lives. Congratulations, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Oh, mabhakani ezimnyama nkani zakhe umhlaba uzabhekisa phezulu okamasipala lo hamba water. Take some voice notes when we come back. I'm kicking them out because the coach is here. The boss is in the building. Song was ringing all across South Africa all weekend long. I'm dressed in all black because I want to be like Jose. Have you seen how cool the coach looks when he's on the touch? He's the best dressed, the most styled coach on the touchline. Always looking great. He doesn't mean he looks at me like what?
Really?
Coach, welcome back, and thank you so much for honoring us. We always great to have you.
It's a pleasure. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Congratulations on an epic season once again.
Okay,
4 trophies in 2 seasons. You know, it's become an expectation now from Orlando Pirates that you guys are going to do this because you've done it so well. But congratulations, Coach.
Thank you very much. It's been, like you said, phenomenal season. Difficult. We went through, many different emotions and moments during the season. Some disappointments as well. But we finalized in a really good manner, and the last weekend was something very special for all of us.
I texted Mazola. Mazola was at the game, doing the game on touchline for the SABC. I was anchoring on television. And when I saw the 11, I texted him. I said, have you spoken to the coach? I don't understand this 11. Did you ask him about this 11? You know, when you look at, because we look at trends, we look at the last couple of games and we try to figure it out. And I said, the top goal scorer is not on it, Mazola. He's on the bench. I said, Relebohile is on the bench. What's the coach thinking? This is a huge gamble, Mazola. I was in a bit of a panic for you, Coach. Talk to me about how it got to that point. Was it a tactical thing from you, a technical thing from you? The 11 just was something that even Rulani went on to say he didn't expect.
The process to do the player selection, not only the start 11, also the 20 players who are going to camp, the different weapons we're gonna have on the bench are related with the game that we expect that we are going to play. That's all. From that point, then we try to do our best in order to be right and not wrong on the day. Obviously, we want to win the match. And that's my role in the end, and that's the difference between me and everybody else involved, that I have to make those decisions. When the decisions are going good for us, then we feel that everything work. Or people think that the plan was something special or whatever, and when it's not, then we have to accept the responsibility and we have to accept the critics. But we always try to do it after analyzing ourselves analyzing the opponent as well, our possibilities in the game because of the type of game that we expect that we are going to play, and that's all behind.
Coach, I wondered even then, and obviously you and I had a conversation prior to the game about that, and we didn't have enough time to go into detail, obviously, but how is it sleepless nights when you make a decision like that? Because I mean, like we were saying, everybody was talking about how is it a gamble, is it a risk? What was the thinking behind the technical team's decision to leave, particularly those two players on the bench, or does it come naturally that you have to pick horses for courses? One would say
it's my job, so I try to take it like what it is. My job is not to be seen there in the touchline, is to make decisions myself with my technical staff, but always based on the fact that we want to win the game. These games are really special. It's a final, there's nothing else after this game. The magnitude of the opponent also, it's pushing you to do an extra, let's be honest, because we know about the difficulty of playing Mamelodi Sundowns, because we did it many times since we are here together with different results, but always with the feeling that it's a high demanding game for all of us, the players and the technical staff. We like it. We love to face those weeks because it's nice, honestly. And again, this time we came up with a plan, and like I said many times before, in the end it's the players understanding and willing to execute the plan, and understand that they have to choose the way of discipline on the day if we want to make the things work, and they did it in a outstanding way this time.
We're speaking with the other players a little bit earlier about how special Rile is. And he came on in that game and did what he did. As a boy, when you think you want to be a football player one day, you think of that, isn't it? You think of, it's a World Cup final, coach calls me from the stands, I get in, I'm 15 years old and I score a goal, and it's like a great goal, but it doesn't happen for everyone. It only happens for the really special ones. You gave him an opportunity and he proved to be special. A masterstroke to bring him in when you did, and then he went on to do what you did.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, the way he scored the goal, it makes everything looks like perfect on the day. The way that he's coming in and he's starting to ask different questions to the opponent fullbacks in that moment of the game. But I think I don't know how many times did I see the goal already. I guess that many, like everybody else. But it's not the execution. It's for me, sometimes players receive the ball and they pass back because they didn't think anything in that moment. The action that Rele imagined in his brain, that not only the way he executes, is about how creative you can be in a short space of time, make the action in my opinion, exceptional. And then the moment, 93 minutes in a final, 1-1, the winning goal, it was a beautiful moment that will stay with us for the rest of our lives, for sure.
And Coach, did you personally take a decision to allow him to express himself that way? Because sometimes we criticize a lot of coaches that come, especially if you're an international coach coming into South Africa, maybe stifle creativity and you want them to play a certain way, but especially at that young age, to just because he's been doing it from that debut you gave him against Royal AM and Orlando Stadium. He's gotten better, but he's just been playing with that confidence.
No, creative players like Rele, not only him, players like him, you can how can I say, put limits to the football that they can display. In my opinion, it's a mistake. Those are the players that will, make something special like he did in order to win the game. They have something that you cannot develop, you cannot influence as a coach. It's a natural talent, like I said, not only to execute. There's many players with quality to execute actions, but just visualize that action and then execute it. the 3 decisions that he's making. That's what it makes the action special, and I will never try to put limits, to the talent of these players. We try to guide them. We try to make them see some other situations that can complete them as a football players. But this is something that is not coachable. It's just talent.
You've done exceptionally well, Coach, since you've been to South Africa. 2 cups first season, 2 cups again now, second place both seasons. But I look at the gap between Sundowns and yourselves in the league, that 23-pointer, and I think to myself, knowing every time we've spoken how much of a perfectionist the players were saying here, that you see the smallest things. You've got this attention to detail. I wonder about your itch of the league. It's a different cup game altogether when we speak about the league. What is your analysis of yourselves in the league then? Why is there such a huge gap when in cups you watch Sundowns and Pirates and you think there isn't that big a gap? I don't see it.
There's no gap anymore. We are again in 0, and that's the way I see it. What happened this season is gone. It's not coming anymore. The mistakes that we made are already, we pay for it. But now we look into the future and we start from 0 again. All of us, we need to feel the pain of those points that you mentioned before, because it's not the scenario that we were dreaming about it before the season start. But now we have another opportunity to be critic with ourselves. That's what we need to do, to understand that we gave away points that it can never happen, cannot happen anymore. And like, I don't need to say that we can be competitive on the day, because we show it many times in these 2 years together. When it's time when there's no other option, we can do it. But then there are games that let's be honest, we were not at the level that we should be. And that was the difference with the team who managed to win the league, with the team who finished in the top of the log. And that's what we need to learn. We need to... That's the what you mentioned many times, what I used to hear in the press conference about the consistency and all of these things. It belongs to that space of keep that level of motivation in each and every game, to understand that the 3 points against the team who is 14 in the log have the same importance than one derby or when we face the number 1 in the log. So that's the key for me. Everything else is there. We just need to make sure that it's happening every 3 days or every 4 days, and especially make sure that it's happening early in the season. It's the moment where we didn't manage to be at the level that we want to be.
Coach, do you have examples yet? I don't know if you've had enough time to look back at the season. Obviously, there's a lot of games, but do you have examples yet of those particular games that you can pinpoint to say, we beat Golden Arrows 7-1, but the next week we faltered here and there, and to where you ended up obviously losing crucial points?
I think again I'm going back to the early stages of the season, this season, and it happens the same in our first season.
Yeah.
When we managed to, not even before the final, even when we managed to be part of the semi-finals against Mamelodi Sundowns, in that space of time in the league, we collect, if I'm not mistaken, 8 points out of 21 in 7 games. This season was something similar. So soon in the season you create that feeling that it's far. It's not gone. I don't want to say it's gone, but it's far. It's getting difficult, and so we need to really apply ourselves in the beginning of the season to make sure that
you start well.
Yeah, we show that level of that we are not just saying, we are actually on task, knowing that we have to perform in a high level in the MTN8, in the early stages of the Champions League, to not have the same problems that we had this season. If I'm not wrong, in the first 3 months of the competition, we play in 4 different competitions, and that's where we need to be much better. And for me, that's coming from your level of matureness as a group. And that's where I feel that the team is getting much better. Besides these 2 trophies and the second position in the log and all of these things.
Yeah, which you pointed out that Sundowns, you feel Sundowns have that. That's why they were able.
Exactly. Yeah. That's for me, or it was the main difference in my time here.
2 seasons, 4 trophies in your first time in Africa, your first, and you're going to get to go home now, I'm sure, relax a little bit, see the family.